All right, so with the preseason starting today, we're going to take a look at the RFA market, what's going on, and a little bit of an update on some of the names that have been signed over the weekend. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe. Let's take a look at the RFA and a update on what's going on with these players. So over the weekend, there was a flurry of activity going on with the restricted free agent market. Some guys have been announcing they're going to Finland, they're staying with their team for a lesser contract, bridge deals. So we'll take a look at some of those. So starting off the list was the big one on Friday night. Toronto had all weekend to celebrate this one. Mitch Marner signing a 6-year contract for a cap hit each season of $10.893 million, a $65.358 million contract for Mitch Marner. So very good contract for Mitch Marner. Very signing bonus heavy, and the actual cap hit is very weird, but doesn't matter. Mitch Marner's making his money, so now there's been rumors. It's actually been said that the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Minnesota Wild had offer sheeted Mitch Marner. Marner rejected those deals because he supposedly wanted to stay with the Toronto Maple Leafs. I wonder if the Islanders were in on that, but I find it hard to believe with Lou Lamoriello, even if he did go for it, or that it would get out with Lou Lamoriello in charge of that. So definitely interesting there that Mitch Marner, he did end up having offer sheets. So Kyle Dubas, obviously in the press conference, was more than elated to have his group together. He said that he would keep them together, and he did. Mitch Marner, John Tavares, William Nylander, and Austin Matthews. He found a way to get it done. All right, next guy. So Patrik Laine is training in Switzerland with the SC Bruins. So doesn't mean he's signed, doesn't mean he's playing with the team, but he is training in Switzerland. So if something happens, in the next couple of months, maybe he gets things done. Maybe he signs a contract right now, but I have a feeling there's something going on. I think Kyle Connor has a little bit of an effect on what they're looking to do with Patrik Laine. Mikko Rantanen is training in Finland, so he's kind of the same situation as Laine. He's training in Europe just to he's still skating. He hasn't skated for a while, and he can't be skating on the ice with his teammates there in Colorado. He doesn't have a contract, so he's skating overseas, probably closer to home. Not too bad. So Braden Point. Now this is interesting. We were talking about earlier in the summer that Braden Point could possibly be offer sheeted by the Montreal Canadiens. Supposedly he turned that down. And since then, it's been pretty quiet on the Braden Point front. At different times, we've heard that things could be getting, things are moving along, could be looking good. And now, just recently, we have heard that contract talks between Julien Brisebois, general manager of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Braden Point and his group, the contract talks have stalled. Now, this is not good news for Tampa. They have salary cap space to work with, not a ton. I think that's the biggest problem here. Even on a bridge deal, they don't have a ton of money. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. Charlie Mcavoy signs a 3-year contract, $4.9 million per season for Mcavoy. So a good contract there. Shade under $15 million over 3 years for Mcavoy. Definitely surprising. I thought he would have taken more money, especially in his actual salary cap. He's under $2 million for the first 2 seasons, and then it goes up to $7 million in that third season. So definitely interesting how the Boston Bruins are playing around with the salary cap to make things work. Speaking of the Boston Bruins, they still have another restricted free agent in Brandon Carlo. Talks will probably continue. I would assume they want to get something done here. He's missing training camp now, the preseason starting. He's going to want to get something done. I would expect something, if not today or tomorrow, definitely by the end of the week. I have a feeling Carlo and the Boston Bruins will get something done. Kyle Connor, I'm not too sure what's going on with Connor. We heard earlier in the offseason that there could be some offer sheets and things like that. Nothing came to fruition, really. There were rumors that a trade could possibly be in the works. things have not really worked out there. So, wonder what's going on with Kyle Connor. Kind of the same thing with Patrik Laine. I think one of them's waiting for the other to sign and then say, I deserve this much more. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Kevin Shoveldayoff is going to be a busy general manager and biting his nails up until October. So Matthew Tkachuk, we're still waiting on Tkachuk. There really hasn't been a ton of talk. I'm sure he is very happy with the number that Mitch Marner got. He can probably make at least $8 or $9 million based off of that. He scores goals. He's a good leader in the room. He may be the highest paid Calgary Flame at the end of this. Anthony DeAngelo with the Rangers, and I did say this. There have been rumors that Anthony DeAngelo has a little bit of an attitude, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, that he's a bad person, but I think he sees himself as he's worth more than the Rangers may be giving him. I think the Rangers are looking to keep him under $1 million. I think he wants to make more than that. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen with DeAngelo, but I think, those things that we've heard about him, it may be coming back to bite the Rangers right now. Brock Besser and the Vancouver Canucks. I remember in August, the talk was Brock Besser. He's going to be the first to go. Things seem to be getting close. He may get a Bo Horvat-like contract. That's kind of what the Jim Benning and the Canucks management wanted. Seems like Brock Besser wanted something different because things have not worked out. In that, I think he wants a shorter-term deal to see what he can make, as well as he wants to see what this Vancouver Canucks team looks like in a couple of years from now. The only problem is now you have an issue with Elias Pettersson. You don't want their contracts ending at the same time. That's something that Jim Benning, I think, is fully looking at and considering very wisely. And then to end it off, we have the Philadelphia Flyers, Travis Konechny. They just signed Ivan Provorov last week. I would expect something with Konechny to get done in the next week or so. Kind of reminds me of Matthew Tkachuk with the way he plays. He's a little bit of a gritty player, an agitator. He puts the puck in the net. He's a very good, reliable center, and I think the Flyers need him if they want a good playoff run. So yeah, that's pretty much it for an update on the restricted free agents. I know as I'm talking right now, I will get an alert on my phone saying that so-and-so has signed, but until then, make sure to stay tuned. Give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe as well. Check out our Instagram as well at Goal Line Hockey. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.